welcome back, ladies, to the next lesson. This lesson, we will be talking about the for loop in C++. So, the for loop, it has the same basic mechanics as a for loop in Python, right? And again, it's just the syntax that will be different. In this case, I would say it's quite a lot different than the for loop you are used to inside Python, because in the for loop you use inside Python, you're used to using it with the range function, standard looping with indexing, or the for each loop, or you would loop for each items in the array. But in C++, the for loop, it has the same mechanic in that it repeats code, but its syntax is a lot different, because as you can see in this example, I just want you to focus up here, okay, not on the code just yet. So you have your for keyword, and inside these parentheses, you always have two semicolons. Right here to the left of this first semicolon, you initialize this variable, the counter variable. Okay, you can see it's starting from 0. Start from 0. Then, in between these semicolons, you have its range. So it's going to go until I is less than 5, the counter. Then, all the way here, the counter will increment by 1 each time. Remember this plus plus? It's the same thing as adding 1 each time. Okay, this is unique in C++. And then here you'll have your code that will repeat essentially 5 times. In this case, this is you have a accumulator variable, and it's summing a total, a running total. So here is the code that you just saw inside Microsoft Visual Studio, and if I run this code, what will happen is that it says please enter a number. Let's say I enter 5. Let's say I enter 4, 6, 5, and 5. The sum should be 25, and it is. The total sum is 25. Press any key to continue. Let me just do one small adjustment here, which is the end line. Okay. So this is an example of using the for loop, where you have a running total. So let's go ahead and trace the code. What exactly is going on? So as you can see, I have this for loop, and in this for loop, inside these parentheses, remember you have to initialize your variable, you have to have your Boolean condition, and then you have to change that variable. In this case, we're incrementing by 1 each time. Now, the truth is, I don't need to have this variable here, okay? So I actually don't need it here. I can actually have it outside the loop, outside this loop, as you can see, and it'll still recognize this I. Okay, this code will still work completely fine. As you can see, I can just type in my numbers, and total sum is 15. There you go. But the good thing about the for loop is that is this advantage of initializing your counters within the for loop, within its scope. So you don't have to initialize them outside the for loop. Okay? But I just want to let you know that these can be empty. Okay? But you just need these two semicolons. That's the key aspect of the for loop. Okay? So I initialize the counter equals 0. I'm going to be repeating this code 5 times, okay, because as long as I is less than 5, you'll increment I each time at the end of the code. Okay, so hopefully you understand this, the syntax right there. Okay, so what are we repeating? Well, first, I want the user to enter a number. Remember the CL, please enter a number. And then I'm going to use the cin with the extraction operator, and we'll enter number that will be assigned to this variable n. This variable n is initialized at the top here. It's an integer, and it has a default value of 0, but of course that will be replaced by the user. Then I have this total variable, again, initialized up here, which is equal to 0 at first, because the sum is 0, but then it'll increment each time. It'll increment by this n value that the user will input. Alright? And this last code right here remember how some of you guys, you wanted to clear the screen inside the IDE for Python we were using on Replit? Well, some of you guys, were having trouble doing that, but in C++, it's very simple. You just need this line of code, which basically says system clear. It's going to clear the screen for the console window. Okay, so when we run this program, we're going to have please enter a number. So it's inside this for loop. It's going to output please enter a number. We're entering an integer for n right here. Okay, let's say we enter, let's keep it simple, 1. So as soon as we press enter, it's going to increment to total, then it's going to clear the screen. And guess what? We're still inside the for loop, because I is now 1, and 1 is less than 5. So we're still inside this for loop, okay, guys? So again, it's going to please enter a number. Let's say 1 again. Again, now I is incremented to 2. Is 2 less than 5? Yes, it is. Again, enter a number. And this is the third time, enter a number, 1. And this is the final time. Okay, so let's see, we enter 1. When it increments I will be 5. 5 is not less than 5. So then you'll exit out of this for loop and go straight to the CL statement. Watch this. Did you see that? It clears the screen. It's going to exit out of this for loop, go to this console output statement, which is a total sum is total. And total is 5, because we entered 1 each time for all the numbers. And then we have that system pause, okay? Now, what if what if we enter not a number but a character? Okay, it's important to ask these what if questions. So what if we enter D? It's not an integer, but let's see what happens. You can see, did you see that? I entered D, and it exited out of this for loop, and then it went straight to the CL. And the total sum is 0, because total is initialized to 0. Okay?